Hey guys, Eric here, and we're here with Nick from FIFA. Nick, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing very well. We just had a chance to sit down and play a little bit of FIFA with you, and you walked us through some great stuff. We just want to talk about it real quick. First and foremost, the thing you told us about was the new slide tackling dynamics. If you could just go over that briefly for us.
Yeah, I mean, so in the slide tackles, we've completely reworked all of the animations. So brand new animations, worked on making slide tackles feel a little bit more realistic. They slide a little bit further than they have in the past. But most importantly, we've also added a new mechanic where you can now branch out of a slide tackle at any point. I think previously slide tackles at times felt like it was an all or nothing. Like, you know, it's great when you made one, but when you missed, you were out of the play. Which in reality, we wanted to make a little bit more realistic. So if you press that slide tackle button again, you'll pop up and branch up out of that animation at any time.
Which is really nice, and that's one of the first things I felt when I was sitting down playing myself.
Great.
And one of the next things you said was the ability of defenders to now recognize runs into dangerous territories. Could you just elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, so we call it defending as a unit. I think previous in our game, most of the time players really focused in on man marking. So I'm marking you. It didn't really take enough into account that there's another player maybe running in behind me that is really running into very dangerous space, and actually you're less of a threat at that point. I should be moving away from you, moving to the person who's more of a danger to score. So the game we've reworked our defending AI to help with that. Players will now much more actively cover. Centre backs will cover each other, and players will come across because they're recognising players that are running into dangerous space. So, I think it really makes a big difference to the feeling of the game and feeling like the AI is really working with you.
Right, and on top of that, you mentioned that once they do recognize the runs, there's a new interception dynamic. There's a new interception dynamic?
Yeah, so we've worked on all of our interception logic where we're now players will now much more aggressively try and intercept the ball. It creates these great situations where, if the ball's coming in it's being played into your feet, the defender's going to more aggressively try and win that, so it creates really nice 1v1 battles. But also, players will try and intercept passes before they get there as well. For me, that's had a real profound effect on the feeling of the game. It's meaning that the midfield really matters now. It brings midfield back into play. At times it was too easy to really bypass the midfield, passing from back to front. Now you have to build up play a little bit more, think a bit more to get your opportunities and vary the way you play.
And that's perfect. And you said so to avoid that being too strong of an addition that now there's a fast pass option? Yeah,
so it's very important for us this year that we create a very balanced game. There's a little bit of an imbalance last year where attacking was quite strong, especially with speedy wingers. So to help you counter the fact that players are now going to be more aggressively intercepting the ball, we've created what we call passing with purpose, where hold down the right bumper or R1 and then press pass. You can hit a pass with much more speed, on demand anywhere on the pitch.
Which is great. And just if you could quickly, the 3D foot that you were talking about, which is great because I was always looking for, the shot that's cutting away from the goalie rather than always the hook, which is nice.
We've obviously done a lot of work over the years in shooting, and we have very sophisticated ball physics. But the way that the ball and the foot interact, we hadn't really, taken into account the 3D nature of a foot. So we're much more authentically recreating that, which is creating a really cool emergent behaviour. So if you hit a ball square, you're going to get much more driven shots, much straighter. At times our shooting was a little floaty, but now if you wrap your foot around the ball, you can get in-swinging curling shots. If you come across it, out-swingers, which might go in the top corner or curl away from the goal.
And last but not least, you guys said you also worked on the crossing quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so really the key this year is innovating across the entire pitch, touching all the core systems that we have within our game, and crossing is one again that we've reworked. We've reworked targeting. We're leading players onto the ball more, whereas crosses were much more square, sort of 90-degree angles, two players going up. Wasn't sure exactly who's going to win the ball, but now we're trying to lead the players and the attackers onto the ball, exploiting space in behind the defence. There's a little bit more error to it. It's a bit more timing based as well to make sure it doesn't become overpowering, but it's incredibly fulfilling when you're whipping across and get on the end of it.
Well, thanks so much. The game looks great. We had a great time playing it, and good luck and have a great day today.
Great, thank you very much.